Mental load. What is this? Have you ever felt that your brain doesn't stop, but you really think, and you cannot sometimes even sleep properly or fall asleep, quickly, because you can't stop thinking about many things? Or you are feeling tired even before the day starts. You feel like this heavy weight, like, oh my God, I have so many things to do that I don't know even where to start. It's just way too much. Or simply you feel that your business actually depends on you. You feel a heavy weight and your body simply feels like, oh my God, I'm exhausted, I need a break. Well, you're not alone. We feel that very often. Actually, overwhelm is usual pain, I will say, of many entrepreneurs. So that's not new, right? But now I'm gonna tell you, given like many years of experience, also dealing with people overwhelmed, having been overwhelmed myself at some point, how to solve this, because it is possible. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you a very practical tool to prevent, stop, or cure overwhelm. First things first, what is overwhelm or high mental load, and why is this so important, and why is like the main fundamental thing? Your brain sometimes gets too much information. It's way too much. So overwhelm is simply when your brain gets a constant amount of many things, of a lot of information that feels that cannot really have the time to sink in, to let it flow. It's just sometimes too much. You don't have the time to assimilate many things that happen. So that's when overwhelm happens. That's when the heavy mental overload happens. So the point is, your brain needs a break to process so much information, so many decisions that you have to do during your day. So in short, what we need to do is to give your brain less information, not more. That's the first point. That's the strategy. We need to give your brain less information to be able to solve things better, to have a better decision making. That's the general idea. So how to do it? First point is to understand what is exactly overwhelm. So why do we get there? We get there simply in a cycle of starting putting so many thoughts together of many things that are unrelated, but we put together, let's say, in a bag of thoughts of one single package. For example, as a mompreneur, what do we need to think? Kindergarten, get things done at home, kids, breakfast, have a healthy dinner, laundry. On top of that, you have to have a business ready, you have a client meeting, you have to change your website, you have to send emails, you have to do social media, you have to do, and on top of that, you have to do laundry, you have to organize a cleaning lady, you have to blah, 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 blah. It's a lot. It's a lot, right? But how is it possible to manage? How is it possible to handle, to understand when is a lot? When do you have those first signs of mental load, of overwhelm? When your body starts telling you, hey, it's getting too much for me. You start somatizing. Many reasons. Maybe you start feeling your shoulders sore, which is my case. I start feeling in my shoulders, oh my God, I have a little pain here. My back also starts feeling like a bit weird, like our body starts sending us signals. But usually many people just ignore those signs and say no. And then it's when problems really start getting big, right? Because then you start having migraines, having pain here and there. So this mental overload starts getting into many parts of your body, start really creating troubles. And then you even get into a burnout. So this is a serious thing, right? So we need to be very smart about it and really get to know our own signals. We need to know our bodies very well to understand what is our baseline when we're chill and cool and everything. And then suddenly we get this mental overload, and then the body signs start to appear. Maybe we start getting signals from our muscles, from our head, from our eyes, from many things. So that's the first moment, to realize when it's getting too much, and then what to do. First, we have this first awareness, like, oh my God, it's getting too much. Now we need to make things easier, softer, and the most important thing, less. That's the key. How do we do this? As many people know, maybe there are some videos about it, it's the heuristic method, right? Heuristic simply means shortcuts. Make things simple, simplifying thoughts, simplifying ways to help your brain to simply cluster things, or making things a bit more general, easier to grasp. So the overload gets a little bit more categorized, if you want. So it's easier for your brain to go through that and sort these things out. That's the point. How I do it, because there are many ways, right? Is a 3 magic number, 3x3 system, which is a strategy that I love to have. I use it for my yearly planning, I use it for my daily planning, for everything. Actually, the number 3 is a very important number for me, and I use it for many things. Like whenever I feel like, naming something, I just use this number. So that's my magic number, but you can have your own. I just give you my system. So 3 is a number that I like to use for many things. But how do we use the number 3? So basically, it's a strategy that we go from big to small. Imagine like these Russian dolls, where you actually see the big ones, so big 3 Russian dolls, and then you open them, and then you see other 3, and then you open, and then you see other 3. That's pretty much how the system works. But what we need to tell our brain is to say specific things that we need to achieve. So I know that sometimes it's a bit difficult to have this mentally. So I have prepared today a practical exercise for you, so you can actually get it done today. Okay, it's quite simple. Perhaps today you will have to stop this video to actually do it with me, because honestly, this is something I do. Really, like nothing can, stop me from doing this every single week. So I do it every single year, exactly. Every single trimester, every single month, every single week, every single time during the day. So every day I know what are the 3 things that I'm going to do today, but they are very operational. So in the year, we do a strategy. In the trimester, we do a specific, let's say, part of that strategy. In the month, we do a bit more specific. In the week, we go a bit more specific. And in the day, we are doing tasks. But for that, you need to know what is a strategy, what is a big strategy, what are the big activities. That's the key. That's all. Super simple. But I'm going to guide you today to do it step by step. So stop this video for a moment, grab a piece of paper, and we are going to do a practical exercise today. First thing, try to have a little bit of mindful moment with yourself. Take some time. I'm not going to do a mindfulness exercise today, but that's how you should start. Just a moment to connect with yourself, with your breath, arriving yourself to the present, here and now. You observe your breath. You feel how everything is for you today, for your surroundings. For me, that's the first start. I hardly ever start this process without really connecting with the intention that I have on that day. Sometimes I do that actually when I wake up. Actually, I set the alarm 10 minutes earlier, and I just have this very meditative state before I wake up. And I simply say, okay, how do I feel? Do I have any pain or something? Am I tense here, the back? I do this body scan. And then it's like, okay, today I feel like that. That's fine, blah, blah. This is how I feel. And then what is going to be my intention? Always. Every day start with this intention, like we create something nice. And then when I come here to my desktop, when I start really to work, I remember this intention mentally, and then I prepare, okay, from all the to-do lists that I have to do, I connect with this intention, and then I focus only on 3 specific tasks of the day, which is why, by the way, I don't procrastinate, because I know exactly what I have to do, because I have planned it ahead from the year, from my trimester, from my month, from my week to my day. So we start by connecting with our hearts, our mind, always an intention, very soft, easy, connected, big, and then the work starts. The first thing we need to do is really release this load. So you're going to take some time, 1 minute, 2 minutes, time it though, it's very important, otherwise you stay there forever. Simply release everything that you have to do. Stop the video, time yourself now, 2-3 minutes, and put there all the to-do lists, all the tasks that you have to do in your list, everything. But put a limit. You're doing this, let's say 2 minutes have passed, right? Then you're going to start circling or highlighting 3 things only. 3 things that have to have the following. Create value either for you or for your business that transfer. Like, how do you know if something creates value? If it gives you money to you or to someone that you care about. If it's your client or something valuable, if someone is willing to pay for this advice, for this situation. We are doing businesses here, even if we have non-profits. So that's very important. And that is in a way that gives you joy. So you cannot start your priority in the most productive hours of your day start doing laundry. No, it doesn't work like that. Because your body needs the most productive part of you first things first. The most valuable things are first. Hopefully, like in my case, for example, the more valuable things are things that I truly enjoy, like working together with my clients or for my clients or for my projects. So I love my job. So for me, that's an easy one, right? First things first. But of course, as business owners, we do have operational tasks, right? We have to pay bills, we have to send emails, we have to do maybe boring things. We also have to include that. So I selected 3 per day, and that's it. That's it. So what is important here is how you feel about the things that you select. You need to have joy all the time when you do at least the first time. Something that sparks you. This sort of, I'm gonna do this because it's nice. That's good. Why? Because joy is a synonym in business for productivity. The more joyful they are, the more spark you have to do something. The better you do it, the quicker you do it, and that's a win-win. So you can get that stuff done easier. That's the first one. Probably you have to try. If you go for 3 things that you love to do, amazing, thumbs up, that's a deal. But usually that's not the case. Usually we have things that are less fun or that gives us less joy. That happens, right? So my advice is really starting from joyful things, go for more boring things, and ended up things that you really have to do, and you really have to do it. That's that. So what is the core aspect of this methodology is that, first of all, you release your mental load. That's the most important thing. Second, you help your brain to be smart about the decisions that you can do in a very specific time. As entrepreneurs, we also depend on our body, right? And sometimes we cannot work as much as we want because we feel tired, or we have to go and pick up the kids from kindergarten or whatever. So you need to be smart about the way you work and the specific goals that you have achieved, so you don't put an extra high goal on your day and then you feel frustrated. So when you pick those 3 things, you feel okay. It's like, okay, and then, you got them, you manage, and if you didn't do some of those things, you put them on the next list and the next day's list, and that's okay, no problem. So you feel good with yourself, you feel that you have done 3 things are achievable, are memorable, so you can actually keep remembering, and that's it. And if you like the strategy, so definitely check out our online course, Business with Purpose. As at the Mompreneur Society, we do this methodology guided from 9 to 9:30 every Monday with the basic membership. So that's very special. You can find here the link below. And last thing that is very important, I really advise women, specifically if they are during pregnancy, after birth, after breastfeeding, or going to the process of starting kindergarten, in the accommodation phase, to go way easier on themselves. I've been there, I know how it feels, and at least in my case, one tends to put too much pressure to do many things because you have been, let's say, constrained time-wise to do many things and you can't, and then suddenly you have this bit of freedom, right? You have more time for yourself and you want to do everything, or you don't know what to do, you know what to start. It happens. Be easy on yourself. You are doing enough. Breastfeeding is a big thing, and sometimes we take it for granted. Stop breastfeeding is a big thing too, hormonally. So you have to take your time and be a bit gentle with yourself. Don't overload yourself more than is needed. Remember, we need to try to release that mental load of your brain and, be a bit more practical, a bit more, soft, calm, easy with you, because your business depends on you. And you need to be well, you need to feel okay with yourself. It's okay not to feel happy all the time, that's fine, it's not the point. The point is to spark joy, so you're feeling good with yourself, you can work in a nice way, and you're functional with your family and with everything else. Because we don't want you to feel mentally unwell, unfit, or of course with a burnout or something. That's really what we don't want. We don't want to get there. I hope you like this video. I hope you keep being inspired. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, or everything else. Thank you so much. Bye bye.